I'm Jennet Ingle, the 5 Minute Reedmaker. If I have one common problem in my reed making, it's probably that I love a long tip. Making reeds for myself, I'm bad to leave the reed way too long, at least initially, because it just feels so great that way. What I've learned though, and what I know to be true, is that a reed with a super long tip is not sustainable. It overbalances and it won't give you depth. It can throw the opening of the reed off, making it too large or too small, and it changes every time you pick it up. Now, when I'm working on my own reeds, it doesn't matter that much, right? Because I can just pick it up and work on it, and I usually do. I expect to work on it for the first few times that I'm playing on it, and it's fine. But if I give a reed like that to a student, they'll come back the week later saying, I can't play this reed anymore. It felt so great in your studio, but now it doesn't work. And that's the problem. The tip is too long. They complain that it's too up, or that it's too sharp, or that it's too hard, or they can't find depth in the sound. And interestingly, I went into a lesson last week and had a student show me a reed that she had made with this exact laundry list of symptoms, and sure enough, when I looked at it, it was 72 millimeters long, 72 and a half maybe. Now, I love a new reed with a long, thick tip with all this beautiful, good stuff above the heart, with a gentle, moderate slope. A reed like that feels good to me immediately. When I blow, I get a nice, stable sound, and when I blow more, it gives me more. But the bad thing is that as this reed begins to stiffen up, it will go sharp. It will go shallow. It will not permit me to find depth or beauty in the sound, and it may not permit effortless vibrato, or it may have a real up quality or too small an opening. This list of symptoms may have me wanting to scrape in the heart, and this is the fallacy of the long tip. If I go there, I'll wind up underbalancing the reed, causing the pitch to go flat and unmanageable, causing the opening to just get crazy, causing the whole thing to become unusable. The solution, non-intuitively, is to scrape in this extremely long tip, making the transition from the rooftop into the tip, this area here, more concave. So if previously it was a thick heart going into a real long tip, I want to scoop this area out, eliminating some of those lovely long grains that you initially strove to keep in there. And then you clip it back to the balance. Now, I will never encourage you to start by clipping your reed to length. The number of the reed's overall length is not a magic number. I think that way lies madness. I'm not a fan of struggling to scrape vibration back into a reed that's too short. Now, my main piece of advice here is not to stop too soon. Try not to fall in love with a reed that's over 71 millimeters long. When I first do my long scrape and open up the reed, I do so with the tiniest clip possible. I do not want my reed to be anywhere near 70 or even 71 millimeters yet. I'm going to scrape with a satisfying long tip and get some vibration started right away. And I'm going to scrape, ideally, until I get a nice big rattly crow. And then I'm going to begin to clip back by tiny intervals until the reed comes into balance. Once I get to my C crow, that's when I myself need to be reminded that I'm not done. I'm going to put the thing away and I'm going to give it a day. Chances are that when I pick it up again, it will have stiffened up, it'll feel big and bulky, it will tempt me to want to scrape in the heart. This is not always wrong, but before you do that, look carefully at the tip and at the transition. You should indeed see a little bit of smoke coming up from the chimney to continue our little house metaphor. In fact, if you imagine that there's a fireplace right in the middle of the house, you should see a moderate amount of smoke coming up from the entire area, right? Just a little bit like this. Like one of those infrared heat sensing cameras, as though the heat's coming from right here and just sort of emanating all the way up. But you also need to be able to see that scooped out area just above the heart. It's that three-dimensional rooftop that's just as important as the two-dimensional one. So this should be clear. Now, your other rules, your response, resistance, resonance, they won't work until the tip is in balance and below 71. Really, the slope of the reed in this area is curves more than planes. So you picture the way that that heart becomes the tip and go for concavity. This will lower your crow so you can clip, and only after you're back to a nice low C crow should you mess around anyplace else. So to reiterate, I do not clip a reed back to length. I do not clip back to a specific measurement. I clip back until I have the crow I need. But if I have a C crow and I have a reed that's sitting north of 71 millimeters, I'm going to keep working on it. I will scrape to lower the crow and then clip to bring it back into balance. And once I have a C crow and I'm lower than 71 millimeters, then it's time to start customizing the reed. Not before then. That's my advice. This has been a 5-minute Reedmaker lesson. I hope it's been helpful. You can follow these short videos right here on YouTube. You can subscribe if you wish. If you have questions or comments, or you want to order reeds or cane, you can find me at jennetingle.com, and I would love to hear from you. What questions do you have about reed making? What can I help you understand? The more questions you ask, the more videos I can create. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.